I have no problem with this list whatsoever. Right? And MLB Pipeline, again, I think they're trying to elevate themselves as saying, hey, listen, our list is fine, okay? Because it always comes under scrutiny. Personally, don't have an issue with it. I think Flores is perfectly ranked at number 95 because the lack of that third pitch. We've talked about this. I think he's working on his changeup. Jace Young, again, maybe he just need more sample size for us. Personally, I feel like I have to see more of him before I can make an assumption. But Job's debut last year in high A, that was electric, and he showed some really good stuff. To me, that's fine. As the rankings are all subjective. Should Colt Keith gotten some consideration? Sure. Am I saying that because he was on the podcast? No, maybe, but no. I all jokes aside, this to me, this list is fine.
You guys are the experts. I just wanted to throw in a quick question. What do you guys think this list is going to look like a year from now? Is there anybody in the Tigers organization a year from now that you think can make the jump onto this list? Because I was just thinking, if we give Scott Harris another full year to really do his magic, what do you think? I think we'll have 4 prospects in the top 105. Like, what are you guys thinking it could look like a year from now?
Good question. I would expect that Job will still be on there unless something goes haywire this year. I think he'll still be in the top 100. Jace Young could still be in there. The Pipeline kind of clings to their draft rankings more than anybody else. So Jace Young was their 9th overall draft prospect last year compared to Nito was like 17th to them. So they kind of stick with that, but he could be in there. It's possible. Colt Keith, I think we kind of think that he might make the majors this year, but it's also entirely possible he doesn't. And then I think you got to look at guys like Christian Santana and Isaac Pacheco, who could make real moves this year. And then you got to think about the 3rd overall pick coming up. You would hope that whoever that is going to be in the top 100. Expect them to have like a top 20 prospect unless something awesome happens. But they should have another 3 to 5 guys in that 50 to 100 range, I would think.
Malloy, if he doesn't make the majors this year,
I think he's got a chance to be like a good average big leaguer, but I don't know if there's a huge ceiling there unless he was talking to us. He's not a huge power guy. He knows that about him. And I think that will ultimately keep his ceiling. But it wouldn't shock me if he's on a list. If he goes out, he spends the year in AAA and say he hits like 280 and 20 plus home runs or whatever with a 20% walk rate. I think you put that guy in the top 100.
I personally think that Santana, to agree with you, Chris, but a guy that seems to be high on lists across the board is Peyton Graham. I think if Peyton Graham comes out, that if Peyton Graham has a good year, if he starts the season at West Michigan and goes out and has a good year and we see him in Erie, then I think you could see him definitely on that list next year. So I expect that in terms of even like for pitchers. So you look at
Madden.
I was gonna say maybe Madden or Dylan Smith. I think either one of them was going to they're going to take a step forward this year. We saw Madden what he's capable of in year last year. There were some times there were some really flashes of good glimpses on when he was working on his off-speed stuff. So to me, it depends on how his off season went. A and B, Madden could come out and just start laying waste to people, and easily could be on by the middle of the summer on the top 50. I'm not gonna say anything like Danny Soretti or anything like that, but I just think that Peyton Graham, because of where he was drafted, will get some of that too. So
about the Tigers' other picks they have in the draft, like the 2nd round pick, like Gunnar Henderson was a 2nd round pick and he made the list pretty quick. So you got to think about that too.
I think about that, but also the fact that here we are with Mark Connor is going to be part of it. And Chris, I think you and I are both thinking the same thing. Until we see what kind of profile they have in terms of how they're going to address it, that to me is too far away. I mean, even with the 3rd pick, hopefully it's a home run pick. It's a no-brainer pick. We're not sitting there going, they picked another pitcher. No, I don't think that's going to be the case. Be the smartest guys in the room. I think they're going to – it really depends. But looking at Mark Connor's draft record in San Diego, I think you could potentially see the 2nd round or maybe a 3rd round or 2. But again, it's too far away right now, and there's so many variables.
The 37th pick, 45th pick, and 75th pick. So they have a chance to kind of not overhaul the farm system, but add some talent to it.